Hey, Pickleball coming to you today from Tampa, Florida. I wanted to do a video for you today about movement on the court. And what I want to focus on today is moving from the baseline up to the no volley zone line, or for those of you who don't play tennis, from the back line or the deep line all the way up to the kitchen line or no volley zone line. And I want to talk to you about how you do that so that we can solve some of the issues that happen when you're moving up to the no volley zone line. Let's get into it.
This video is about moving as a serve team, not as a return team. The returner should always be up at the line after the return if he or she can get there. This is strictly about the serving team and what the serving team needs to do in order to get up to the line.
The way most of us were taught to play pickleball, as soon as a service team, whether you or your partner on the service team hit the third shot, you were supposed to basically just rush forward. Just rush up and get to the kitchen line and no volley zone line as soon as possible. The problem with that approach is it often exposes you to attack by the return team that's already set up at the net. There's a better approach to how to come forward or how to approach the no volley zone line when you're on the serving side. We'll get into that today. In a minute, I'll show you some match footage to show you exactly how this works and how you can move forward in a more orderly fashion than just rushing up to the no volley zone line or the kitchen line. But I wanted to talk about it briefly in concept. So what happens is, say that I served, okay? So I'm here and I've executed my serve, and the other team returns to my partner. So now my partner is going to be executing the third shot, drive, lob, third shot drop, or dink, whatever my partner chooses to hit. So what am I supposed to do as the non-hitting player? Well, I only have one job here, which is to watch what my partner does. So what I will do is I will serve, and then I will wait here. The return comes over to my partner. I will now look over my partner to see what my partner is doing. The shot hit by my partner will then decide what I will do. So if I look over my partner and my partner hits a nice third shot into the kitchen, now I'm going to move forward. If my partner hits a floater or hits a ball that looks like it's floating, then I'm going to stay back and wait and defend and not just run forward and get attacked by the return team. The more you play the game, the more you'll be able to read the ball coming off your partner's paddle and be able to decide on your own whether you should move in or stay back depending on the way the ball comes off the paddle. But one thing you can do in any event is watch your partner's reaction. Your partner should have a better sense for how his or her ball is coming off the paddle than you will. So watch what your partner does. Is your partner moving forward after he or she hits the ball, or is your partner staying back because the ball was floated or hit in a way that didn't come off the paddle correctly? So you can basically key off of your partner to decide whether you should move forward or not. What I tend to do with partners, particularly partners that I haven't played with a lot, is to have verbal communication. So what I'll do is I will let them know beforehand, I'll tell them to basically watch what I do or watch me, and then I'll communicate to them verbally. After I hit my shot, I'll say, okay, come on, let's go, because I know it's a good shot, or wait with me, or hang back, or whatever. Something to let them know to stay back with me so that they're not moving in and then getting pegged with the ball by the return team. What you don't want to do is simply just rush forward, especially if your partner or yourself have hit a high ball, and then what you're doing is exposing your feet or exposing your legs to attack by the return team. If I stay back here or I stay at or behind the baseline, the return team has nowhere to attack. They can hit it hard, yes, but they can't hit it at my feet, because if they hit it at my feet, it's going out. It's easier for me to defend this kind of a shot than it is for me to defend a shot from here. I have more time, and I have a better chance of getting a ball that I can actually keep in front of me as opposed to a ball that's right at my feet.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some game footage here. We're going to look at a couple of different points from the same match here. This is a 4.5 mixed doubles finals match, gold medal match. What we're going to be focusing on in these two sequences, these 2 points, is the movement of the team of John and Sylvia. John is in a white shirt and Sylvia is in a green neon shirt. We're going to slow them down in a minute, and what I'm going to be focusing on and looking at each one of these points is the movement of John and Sylvia moving towards the net after they've served the ball. And in the first point, what you're going to see is you're going to see John and Sylvia moving in sync. They're moving as a team, moving up together. The second point, you're going to see them get out of sync, then back into sync, then out of sync and into sync again. And I think it's really illustrative to watch these 2 points develop. So let's look at them again. In the first point, you're going to see John and Sylvia moving well together as a team. You see the return goes to Sylvia. She sets up to hit the third shot. Look at John here. He looks over at Sylvia to see what kind of shot she's hitting. And look how they're coming up together. So they're moving in a tandem or in a parallel line here together. They're moving really well together here, keeping in a good line. Here Sylvia looks over to John this time to take a look at his shot. Basically, it's another third shot, or in this case, a 7 shot that he's trying to hit. Sylvia split steps here to try and get ready for the next shot. and then John comes up here and joins Sylvia, and now they're up at the line together, and they're now ready to play the point from a neutral position with the return team, which is what you're trying to do when you're the serve team. Get up to the line and get into a neutral position. In the second point, you're going to see that they're not quite in as much sync as they were in the last point. You're going to see here again, the return goes to Sylvia here. Sylvia gets pushed back off the line. John just moves forward here. He kind of looks over, but you'll see he keeps on moving here, creating a gap between him and Sylvia. So John here is susceptible to attack. If her ball had been a little bit higher, I think Chuck on the other side would have ripped it at John here. John and Sylvia are clearly out of sync here. They're not together here. John ultimately gets attacked. He has good hands, so he's able to respond, but he gets attacked because he's up front. Now you'll see John move back here and regroup with Sylvia in defense here. Now they're back on the line here. They're back in defense, back and moving together here again, which is what you want to do. You want to be moving in sync here. Here Sylvia this time moves forward and it creates a gap again between her and John. They're out of sync again here in this position, which is not what you want to be here. And then John rejoins her. Now they're back in sync, and this is what you want to have when you're playing. You want to be back in sync as a team and be together in the tandem.
Next time you're playing, give some thought to how you're approaching the no volley zone line or the kitchen line. If you keep on getting hit or getting attacked at your feet or at your legs over and over again, it's probably because you're moving forward too fast, you're moving forward too soon, or you're moving forward on a bad ball. So if it happens to you once or twice, fine. But the third time, just kind of say, well, wait a minute, what am I doing here? What's happening? Probably what's happening is you're putting yourself in a position to allow the other team to attack you. So try and change that, come in a more orderly fashion or on a better ball so that you don't get attacked at your feet. Give it a try.